What are some good tips for meal prepping? By the end of this episode, you're going to learn why everyone should meal prep to at least some extent. You're going to learn how to meal prep, what to meal prep, and I'm going to give you some specific examples of meals to meal prep at the end of the episode as well. Today, I'm really excited to talk about meal prepping because I have so many clients that I coach in the 10-week transformation who do meal prep or who ask about meal prep, and it just becomes such a staple for helping people hit their goals on a weekly basis with their nutrition strategy and therefore stay consistent with their nutrition strategy week after week after week, and it just sets you up for success. So let's talk about it. I know every single one of you guys who are listening or watching right now, you want to eat healthy, but you're super busy. So it can feel really tough sometimes because so many of you guys are crazy busy with work. You have your kids' school stuff, you have your kids' sports, other activities after school. And so it makes it really difficult to consistently eat healthy homemade meals. But what if I told you that it could actually be much easier than you think? What if I told you that it can not only be easier, but it's also healthier and more affordable than you're currently making it? Well, I'm telling you that it actually can be. But it does take a little planning and effort. And that's honestly why most people don't do it. Most people aren't willing to plan ahead. Most people are just flying by the seat of their pants in the moment and just tackling whatever is in front of them at any given moment. But I'm going to teach you why you should at least do some meal prepping, how to do meal prep, and I'll give you some easy, healthy options that you can make starting next week. So let's start off with why you should meal prep. Again, every single person, I think, to a certain degree should meal prep because of these things. Number one, eating healthier is going to be a whole lot easier. I know every single one of you, like I said, wants to be eating healthy, but so often you're thrown off your routine by your kid getting sick at school, your meeting running late, or you simply just forget to eat a meal. But if you plan ahead, this isn't going to be the case, or it's not going to be the case nearly as often. If you pull out your calendar and you write down what you're eating, for what meals, that will go such a long way. You won't be as likely to graze in the pantry all day long. You won't be as likely to pick up fast food, or you won't be as likely to skip a meal. The second reason why you should be meal prepping is you'll actually save money and you're not going to be wasting food. A lot of people think eating healthy is more expensive, but like compared to what? I mean, like compared to going to Wendy's and getting your 4 for $4 meal every day, then yes, eating healthy is expensive. I know most of you guys are probably not wanting to do that though. And yes, I will admit that if you're buying like fresh seafood and organic everything, then eating healthy is going to be a little bit more expensive. But you don't have to buy a bunch of fresh seafood every day and organic everything. And if you don't do that and you are prepared with a grocery list every single week, I bet you'll end up spending a whole lot less than you normally do per week and per month on food. Because here's what happens when you don't plan your meals or you don't have a grocery list, you'll probably end up going out to eat a whole lot more than you originally planned. And that's undoubtedly more expensive with how expensive eating out is nowadays. And when you don't plan, you also might waste a lot of the food that you have and you'll end up throwing it away. And that in and of itself is wasting money as well. So generally speaking, if you plan your meals ahead of time, you're a whole lot more likely to save money and not waste food. Another third reason why you should meal prep is you're going to be less stressed and you're actually going to have more time. If you're like a lot of people, you worry about what the heck am I going to be making tonight for dinner. It can cause a lot of stress and it can cause more frequent grocery trips than is actually needed. But when you do have a meal plan, that's not going to happen. You're not wondering what you're going to have. You're not cooking at every single meal, and you actually end up saving yourself a whole lot of time on the back end. I really believe that 1 hour of meal prep at the beginning of the week can save you to 2 to 4 hours as you go throughout your week at least. So those are a few reasons why you should meal prep. Now I'm going to give you kind of like 5 steps on how to meal prep. Step number 1 is meal plan. Now, meal planning is different from meal prepping. Meal planning is sitting down and thinking about what you want to eat throughout the week. It's taking out your calendar, your Google Calendar, and writing down what you're going to be eating on what days. I know I personally have a lot of clients who are parents and they have transitioned to having a family eating calendar. They'll write down what their family is eating every single day for dinner on the fridge or just on the wall, and all of their kids will be looking forward to whatever it is that they're having that night. I would recommend maybe picking like 3 to 4 dinners that you're going to make that week, meaning that you'll have some leftovers for future dinners, and maybe pick one lunch that you can have for at least 3 days. So again, meal planning is just deciding what days you're going to eat what meals. The second thing that you need to do for meal prepping is to create your grocery list. Now that you have a plan for your meals in step one, just build out a grocery list based off of that plan. You can go into your fridge, go into your pantry, and take a survey of what you currently have so you don't buy something you already have, therefore also saving you more money. I know we're all guilty of that, but number two is just create a grocery list. Number three is actually making your grocery run. Now that you have a list, your grocery run is going to be a whole lot healthier, it's going to be more time efficient, and it's going to be more cost effective. When you have a list, you're going to be wandering through the aisles, but you're not going to be wondering, what am I going to make tonight? You're not going to be picking up unhealthy things that just kind of jump out to you, and you won't end up buying food that goes to waste. Now, a couple of pro tips for grocery runs. Pro tip number one, I like to plan my grocery runs on Sunday morning right when the grocery store opens so that they have everything I want and it's not absolutely chaotic in the grocery store. Pro tip number two is you'll most likely to do at least 2 grocery trips every single week, so make sure you schedule both into your calendar. Okay, so the first one was meal plan. Second one was create your grocery list. Third was go to the grocery store. Fourth is prepare your food. Now, here's kind of a few different categories in which you can prepare your food. Number one is raw vegetables. You can wash and cut some raw veggies like carrots, celery, cucumbers, and bell peppers to have as a snack, or throw on some salads as you go throughout your week. Number two, you can roast your vegetables. So you can roast maybe 1 to 2 sheet pans of veggies that you can quickly reheat throughout the week. You can roast Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, squash, onions, potatoes, or asparagus. I mean, all I do when I roast veggies is super simple. I drizzle them with avocado oil, sprinkle salt and pepper on them, put my oven at 425, and then bake them for 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the veggie. Third thing is you can prep your protein. I mean, depending on what kind of protein you prefer and that you're using, there's a few different ways that you could do it. I mean, you could do something as simple as buying a rotisserie chicken and simply pulling it apart and putting it in some Tupperware. Or you can go ahead and marinate and grill or bake some chicken breasts that you get, depending on your preference. You can prepare ground beef or ground turkey on the stovetop and go ahead and knock that out and get that over with. Preparing your proteins at the beginning of the week can save you a ton of time. The next thing you do is cook your grains. I mean, if any of your meals this week call for rice, quinoa, lentils, or farro, then you can go ahead and cook that, store it, put it in your fridge, and you're ready to go. You could also prep some other snacks. You could prep some snacks like nuts, seeds, fruits, cheeses, and just put those and store them away for snacks throughout the week. Now, the fifth and final thing for your steps of meal prepping is storing your food. Now, when it comes to actually storing your food, you can do whatever really works best for you, what works best for the actual meal that you're making, and what works best for how you're actually spreading your meals across the week. I mean, for example, you could keep things simple, and you could put a bunch of chicken breasts in one piece of Tupperware. You could put your ground beef in another piece of Tupperware. You could put all of your raw vegetables in one piece of Tupperware. Or, like, let's say you're building out something like a chicken Cobb salad. Then you could go ahead and take like 4 pieces of Tupperware and put all the ingredients of those each individual salad in 4 pieces of Tupperware. I mean, you could put 4 pieces of Tupperware on the counter. You could put romaine lettuce in each, rotisserie chicken in each. You could chop up some hard-boiled eggs, put that in each, some diced onions, some diced tomatoes, and cucumbers, and put them all in their separate pieces of Tupperware, seal them up, put them in your fridge, and they're ready to go immediately when you want them. Now, to finish off today, I want to give you some specific meal prep ideas. I mean, I just gave you one, a simple Cobb salad with rotisserie chicken. And literally all that takes is getting a rotisserie chicken, pulling it apart. You can buy pre-hard-boiled eggs nowadays, or you can just hard-boil them yourselves. And then all you got to do, you can buy pre-diced onions, you can buy pre-diced tomatoes, or you can dice them up if you want to on your own, and then just simply separate it out. It's not going to take a whole lot of time to do that specific one. Now, another one that I really like is quinoa, ground turkey, edamame, and Brussels sprouts. That's a good bowl. That is a really good bowl right there. At the beginning of the week, all you got to do is maybe cook 1 cup of quinoa, cook a pound of ground turkey, cook a bag of Brussels sprouts, and then you can also already buy edamame that are pre-shelled from Trader Joe's. You can buy sriracha hot sauce from Trader Joe's or wherever you want to go grocery shopping. And if you do those amounts, that will at least last you for 3 meals throughout the week. Again, that's quinoa, ground turkey, edamame, and Brussels sprouts. High protein, high in fiber. Lastly, something like taco salads are super easy as well. At the beginning of the week, you could just cook a pound of ground beef. You could buy romaine lettuce and spinach, and then you could buy an avocado, some salsa, some diced red onions, and shredded cheese. And again, you could go ahead and separate all that stuff out and maybe save the salsa for topping it whenever you actually eat it day by day. And just from a personal experience, like at the time that I am recording this, I literally have already had 2 meal prepped meals, my breakfast and my lunch. My breakfast was Greek yogurt with protein powder, walnuts, chia seeds, and blueberries. And I put that in a Tupperware. On Sunday, I put it in the fridge, put it in a travel cooler. Getting a travel cooler, that's a pro tip that I need to be sharing. Getting a travel cooler with a good ice pack, really, really, really pro tip. That'll take you a long way. So I literally just put that in some Tupperware in the morning before I left for work, put it in the travel cooler, brought it with me, brought a spoon, and was good to go. And then for lunch, I also had pre-made egg salad. Chopped up a bunch of hard-boiled eggs, had cottage cheese in there, some mustard, some green onions, some dill seasoning, some salt and pepper, and I was good to go. So I already had some Greek yogurt with protein powder and egg salad for my 2 meal prepped meals already today, and it has already bought me so much time. After coming home and teaching classes, I didn't have to spend 45 minutes in the kitchen cooking my meal. I just took out the egg salad, put it on a plate, and was ready to go. It will save you so much time, and you will thank yourself so much for having done so. So don't set yourself up for failure by failing to plan. So many times we expect ourselves to make healthy choices, but then as we're living out our day, we get stressed out by lunch, we're stressed out by the end of the day, and we don't make the healthy choices that we intended to as we went into the week. If you can make the healthy choice, the easy choice, if you can make the healthy choice, the actually more affordable choice, that is key to consistency. If you can put in the time and effort on the front end of the week, it is going to save you time and stress on the back end of the week. If you want some specific recipes that you can make both for meal prep, I already shared some, or you can also join the 1-week free trial of the 10-week transformation by going to nickcarrier.com/free trial. Again, nickcarrier.com/free trial. You get a week's worth of workouts. You'll get a number of recipes that you can make, and you'll learn about the goal setting process that we do in the 10-week transformation. Again, go to nickcarrier.com/free trial to opt in today. You guys, make it easy to prioritize your health by doing some sort of meal prep that works best for you. And I promise you it will help you to continue to get closer and closer to your best you.